rolling up to another day of Tesla Shorts Time, daily, episode 507, coming to you from Vancouver. It's June 11th, 2026. Tesla never sleeps, and neither does the news cycle. ABF Freight's order of 2 Tesla semis for California routes moves the electric truck from prototype to paid freight work. ABF Freight added a pair of Tesla semis to its fleet specifically for routes inside California. The purchase puts the semi into daily revenue service rather than demonstration duty. This gives Tesla its first documented freight customer operating the truck on public roads with real loads. Watch for whether ABF reports utilization numbers or maintenance costs in the coming quarters. Tesla has also started sending semi-trucks outside the United States for evaluation. The tests target regions with different weight limits and charging standards than North America. Data from these runs will inform any future export certification work. Production cadence at Giga Nevada remains the main constraint on wider availability. While the Semi takes its first paid steps in North America, Tesla's autonomy software is drawing fresh scrutiny elsewhere. One analyst reviewing recent software releases concluded that supervised FSD now meets level 4 criteria in certain conditions. The assessment rests on observed handling of complex intersections and parking lot maneuvers without driver input. Regulators have not yet confirmed the classification. Any formal Level 4 designation would accelerate unsupervised testing timelines. Recent footage shows FSD scanning a parking area and selecting a newly vacated spot rather than taking the first available space. The behavior demonstrates improved decision-making in low-speed environments. Owners note the system now waits for better options instead of committing early. That autonomy claim sits against a more skeptical view of Tesla's robotaxi progress right now. Tesla's unsupervised robotaxi fleet remains far smaller than earlier projections and has encountered repeated service interruptions. The gap between announced timelines and current operational scale continues to widen. Rivals have already deployed larger supervised fleets in multiple cities. Tesla will need to demonstrate both vehicle volume and consistent uptime before regulators grant broader, unsupervised approval. Battery chemistry choices may ultimately matter more to margins than robotaxi timelines. Elise is said to have won a multi-year contract to supply LFP cathode material to Tesla. The deal coincides with Tesla shifting portions of its battery supply chain away from earlier Chinese partners. Securing domestic or allied chemistry sources reduces exposure to tariff changes. Next earnings call may clarify how much volume Elise will actually deliver. Battery chemistry decisions now sit at the center of Tesla's margin trajectory, more than any single vehicle program. Shifting a meaningful share of packs to LFP chemistry, supplied by new partners such as Elise, changes both raw material exposure and cell-level cost curves. LFP tolerates lower-cost manufacturing steps and avoids nickel and cobalt price swings that still affect NCA and NMC cells. The trade-off appears in energy density and cold weather performance, yet Tesla has already accepted those limits on vehicles where range is secondary to price or durability. Because LFP cells also support higher cycle counts, the same pack can serve longer in energy storage products, improving lifetime economics for megapack deployments. Investors watching gross margin guidance should therefore track the percentage of LFP content quarter by quarter rather than waiting for the next vehicle refresh. That supply chain move lines up with Tesla still leading European EV registrations. Battery electric vehicles captured 35.2% of UK new car registrations in the latest period. Tesla remained the top pure BEV brand inside that segment. The share figure shows continued European momentum, even as some governments adjust subsidy levels. Tesla will track whether the lead holds once more right-hand drive inventory arrives. Tesla installed its first European folding supercharger unit, allowing the stall to retract when not in use. The design reduces the physical footprint at sites where space is limited. It also speeds permitting in dense urban locations that previously resisted large fixed chargers. Expansion teams will test whether the units cut installation time versus traditional posts. Buyers in Ireland and France can now order the base Model Y with blue exterior paint. The option was previously unavailable on the standard range variant in those countries. Tesla has not indicated whether the color will migrate to other regions or trims. The change gives European customers one more configuration without moving to a higher-priced model. European owners are also voicing strong satisfaction with the Model 3 itself. A Reddit survey of UK owners ranked the Tesla Model 3 highest for overall ownership satisfaction this year. Respondents cited low running costs and software updates as primary reasons. The result arrives while several European markets still debate new EV incentives. It supplies Tesla with fresh owner data to cite in upcoming regulatory filings. One American driver documented 117,000 miles in a Model 3 and calculated the avoided gasoline expense. The total came out far below what an equivalent ICE sedan would have cost at prevailing pump prices. The figure adds to the growing set of high-mileage Tesla owner reports. Tesla can use such data points when discussing total cost of ownership claims with fleet buyers. Further afield, BYD is preparing to challenge Tesla's charging dominance in another market. BYD announced it intends to bring its megawatt-class flash chargers to Canadian highways. The infrastructure would support the company's upcoming high-performance models. Tesla currently operates the largest fast-charging network in the country. The move adds a second major network operator if permits are granted. The upcoming BYD Denza Z is listed at 1,582 horsepower, 2,220 kilograms curb weight, and 4,780 millimeters length. That puts it ahead of the Lucid Air Sapphire in power while remaining lighter and shorter than the Tesla Model S Plaid. The comparison highlights a new performance EV entering the segment Tesla once dominated alone. Production timing and pricing will determine whether it reaches North American buyers. A woman who took her Cybertruck to CarMax for appraisal received an offer higher than she expected. The valuation surprised her given the truck's newness and limited used market history. The transaction supplies an early data point on how the aftermarket values the vehicle. Future resale figures will influence how quickly buyers adopt the Cybertruck. One owner reported eating a bagel purchased at a shop and drinking home-brought coffee during the morning commute. FSD handled the drive without intervention. The post illustrates how owners are using the system for routine tasks rather than just highway cruising. Similar clips continue to circulate among current users. Orders from individual investors for the SpaceX IPO have already exceeded $70 billion, according to sources close to the offering. At least 20% of shares are reserved for retail buyers. Even a $75 billion raise would leave most demand unmet. The resulting scarcity is expected to drive aftermarket trading once shares list. Reusable Starship launches are projected to drop bandwidth deployment costs from roughly $6.55 per Mbps to 30 cents per Mbps. The math combines higher payload mass with denser V3 satellites. Starlink's current 63% adjusted EBITDA margin would benefit directly from the lower cost base. At 10 cents per Mbps, the same $1 billion spend would deliver 15 times today's constellation bandwidth. Owners continue to report that neither Tesla nor Rivian allows full disablement of strong regenerative braking. Some drivers experience motion discomfort when the system cannot be turned off completely. The design choice prioritizes range numbers over driver preference for coasting. Competing vehicles from legacy automakers still offer adjustable or zero regen settings. Keep an eye on how BYD's Canadian charging permits progress and whether any new FSD software update surfaces in the next few days. That covers it for today's Tesla developments. TSLA closed at $387.64, up $6.05, 1.6%. Share this episode with a fellow Tesla enthusiast if you found it useful, and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for being here. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Planetarian Daily a listen. Daily breakthroughs in science, health, and longevity. You can explore the whole lineup at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.